Great morning. Welcome to Triple M. Happy Monday. Monday morning motivation. We're getting started off on the right foot, strong foot, successful foot. So the intention, as always, is to elevate our mindset so that our Monday follows suit. And what better way to start the week than motivated? You know, Mondays, I love Mondays. I get so fired up. It's a new week. It's a new opportunity. It's a new chance. It's a new experience. Brand new week. And what we're going to be listening today is to Chris Gardner's 3 success lessons. So if you don't know who Chris Gardner is, he's the gentleman that Pursuit of Happiness, the movie, was based on. He was, homeless at one point in time. He's now currently a millionaire. And he went from those two extremes. So it's always great to learn from, like, what did he do to go from that extreme to that extreme? And, him being a millionaire isn't about the money or the cars. It's about now he has a family that he can take care of. Now he has a home to live in. Now he's able to teach others how they can be successful. So without further ado, we're going to listen to Chris Gardner's 3 lessons for success. And then after, we'll get some takeaways. So without further ado, let's listen to my man.
Hi, I'm Evan Carmichael. Welcome to another edition of Modeling the Masters. I believe that the fastest and most effective way to grow your business is to model the strategies of people who've already done what you're trying to do. So today we're going to look at how a high school dropout became homeless, was bathing in public washrooms, and he went from that, turned his life around, and became a multimillionaire and built one of the most successful stock brokerage firms in America. This is the story of Chris Gardner and the top 3 lessons you can learn from his success. Chris Gardner was the only son of 12 children that was being raised by a single mother. The single mother was trained as a school teacher, but wound up taking on numerous part-time jobs in order to provide for her family. Gardner and his siblings were transferred back and forth between relatives and foster homes. His mother had been imprisoned twice, once for allegedly receiving welfare while working, and a second time for attempting to burn down the house of Gardner's abusive stepfather. Gardner's prospects were narrow coming from an environment such as this. While on a sales call, Gardner met a man who was impeccably dressed and drove a red Ferrari. As fate would have it, the driver of the Ferrari was a stockbroker. When Gardner heard the man was earning over $80,000 a month, he decided that his future lied in investments. He had no education, no experience, and no connections. But that was not about to stop Gardner from achieving his new dream. Once he had decided to become a stockbroker, Gardner immediately set out to find an investment firm that would give him a chance. In one brokerage firm, Gardner finally found the manager of a training program who was willing to give him a shot. However, when Gardner showed up for his first day of work, the manager who had hired him had been fired, and no one else had ever heard of Gardner or his new position. He left with his hopes disappointed. Nevertheless, Gardner didn't give up on his dreams. He continued to seek out investment firms, taking odd jobs to pay the bills in the meantime. Dean Witter, a San Francisco-based brokerage firm, was interested in Gardner, but refused to bring him on board before putting him through 10 months of interviews. It would be a grueling 10 months. Gardner showed up for his first interview in a t-shirt and dirty jeans. He could have fabricated some heroic story to explain his appearance. Instead, Gardner decided to tell the truth. In plain terms, Gardner told the interviewer that his mother of his son had ran off with his child, that he was broke, and they had just gotten out of jail the day before. As luck would have it, the interviewer had recently been through a nasty divorce and could sympathize with Gardner. He was immediately given a position in the company's training program. In 1987, Gardner launched his own brokerage firm in Chicago, Gardner Rich. Gardner quickly began to land major clients for his new company, including the pension fund of the Chicago's Teachers Union. Since then, his business has continued to take off, and Gardner hasn't looked back. By not letting his past hold him back, and by sticking to his vision, Chris Gardner was able to go from being a homeless man to being a multi-millionaire. To help you transform your business, here are 3 action items that you can learn from Chris Gardner. Action item number 1, get excited about something. Rule number 1 of entrepreneurship is you have to love what you do. You have to have such a strong passion for it that you'll break through any barrier, jump over any hurdle to see your vision through. It's going to be hard, and you'll think of giving up multiple times. Only your passion for the business and knowing that you're helping people will keep you going. Gardner is the first to admit that in the early days of his career, his major motivating force for finding work was money. He needed to pay the rent. He needed to be able to afford food and clothing. And he needed to look after not only himself, but also his young son. Nevertheless, it was only by choosing to focus on a career that truly got him excited that Gardner was able to rise to the top of his field. Gardner had finally found something that he could get excited about, and he wasn't about to let his chance of happiness pass him by. According to Gardner, you have to be committed, and you have to find something that you are passionate about. Whatever you're going to do is going to be tough enough. Find something that gets you so excited that the sun can't come up early enough in the morning because you want to go do your thing. Do something that makes you happy and makes you feel good about yourself. No matter how much money is involved, or no matter how easy it is for you to do, if you're not happy, you are nothing more than a slave to your talent and money. Action item number 2, be the best you can be. As an entrepreneur, you don't want to have regrets for not trying hard enough. If your company doesn't make it and you give it your absolute very best, then it'll hurt, but you'll be able to live with it. But if you didn't give it everything you had, you'll always wonder what could have been if you just tried harder. Never let an excuse hold you back from being able to say that you did your best. Gardner attributes his rise to the top to his mother and her spiritual genetics, which encouraged Gardner to dream big dreams for himself and strive to become the best. Gardner's mother was a natural-born teacher. She loved doing it and she did it well. But after being abandoned by her husband, she found herself in a position of having to care for 12 children all on her own. She sacrificed her dream of teaching to take numerous part-time jobs that could better support the family. However, she pushed Gardner to be the best at everything he did. This commitment to be the best was something he never forgot and continues to be the best at everything he can be. According to Gardner, you get your eyes from your dad, your mom's nose, there's nothing you can do about that. But your spiritual genetics, you can choose, pick, embrace, and commit to. That's what I did. Though my mom had too many of her own dreams denied, deferred, destroyed, she instilled in me that I could have dreams. Son, if you want to, one day you could make $1 million. We go after the big deals because it takes just as much effort to land a $500 account as it does to land a $5 million one. Action item number 3, remember your roots. Giving back to your community is one of the most rewarding things you can do as an entrepreneur. Not only are you helping customers through your business, but you're able to help people around you through your contribution. It's never too early to start. You don't have money, give your time. Even doing something to help others once per month will help rejuvenate you and give you additional motivation to succeed with your business so you can help even more down the line. As far as Gardner has come and as much money as he's made, what has perhaps most distinguished him professionally has been his contribution he's made back into his communities. Gardner has kept his promise and has striven hard to remain available and accessible. Early on, he got involved in a Chicago-based program designed to help young people obtain internships with financial services companies and learn the basics of exchanges, insurance, banking, money management, and brokering. Gardner's road to success was a long and difficult one, which made it all the more easy for him to understand what it takes to get there. That's why he will always remember his roots and where he came from. Everyone deserves a chance to succeed. They just may need a little help to do it. According to Gardner, as busy as I am, wherever I am, I try to get out and walk the streets to remember how far I've come and appreciate every baby step of the way. The coolest thing in the world is walking up the street in Chicago, New York, or San Francisco and having someone say, "Hey, you may not remember me, but thank you for helping me get into the business." I can't think of a better way to honor my mom and lift her up than helping educators. The biggest part of her soul was to teach. So remember, get excited about something, be the best you can be, and remember your roots. To finish up this video, I wanted to share one of my favorite true stories about Chris Gardner and some of his best quotes. Most people know that Chris Gardner's life was chronicled in the movie The Pursuit of Happiness. What most people don't know is that Gardner had it actually a lot tougher than the movie portrayed. Many times, he and his son had to sleep in the subway and bathrooms because they needed the money to eat. Even during his training to become a broker, Gardner was not being paid enough to find a permanent place to live for him and his son. However, after his training, he became a full-time retail broker, but was still lacking funds to find a permanent home. It was not until Gary Shimano of Bear Stearns offered him a position that his life changed. Part of the package was funds to purchase new suits so he would look more professional, but Gardner took that money and found an apartment for his son and himself. Thank you for joining me for another edition of Modeling the Masters. If you like the video and you want to see more, please give it a thumbs up below. And if you have a question for your business or a comment that you want to leave, please feel free to leave it below in the comment section. I always read those and try to respond as quickly as I can. So thank you, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Epic stuff. Awesome stuff. Woo! Okay, so let's get into some takeaways. It was pretty basic today, but basic is always good. The three things that he talked about being most important to success was, number one, getting excited about something. He said you got to get excited about something because the passion is going to help you get through the tough times, which inevitably are going to come in anything you do. There's going to be tough times. There's going to be great days. There's going to be tougher days. There's going to be ups. There's going to be downs. But if you don't have the passion, you won't be able to get through the tough times, because as soon as the tough times hit, lack of passion, quitting time. And you got to have that passion to get you through it, because through it is the success. Success lies on the other side of the challenge, on the other side of failure. So really, number one is you got to start thinking about, what am I passionate about? What do I love to do? What would I be excited about doing when I get up in the morning? For me, I love health and wellness. I love fitness. I love Herbalife, because it gave me all those things in one. But really, for me, I started school as a mechanical engineer, and I had an internship at Chevron. And I remember thinking, I'm not excited about the future in this. I'm looking at 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line. That doesn't excite me at all. I don't want to be in an office. I don't want to be stuck, in a stuffy environment. That doesn't excite me. And I always remember that health and wellness and just fitness in general. When I was a kid, it helped me get in shape. And I would love fitness. I would think about, what are the new fitness routines? What are the new, gym can I work out? What's my next health goal? And then as I did that, people would ask me, hey, can you help me out? And I was like, man, it would be amazing to be able to do this every day, live inside of this world and help people with this concept called fitness and health. And really, that's where it started at. I didn't really ever think I was going to be able to make a lot of money in the health and wellness industry. I just knew that, hey, if I'm happy at the basis of it, then I'll be all right. I'll figure it out. Because I remember thinking, man, personal trainers don't make any money. And I was like, well, if I want to have a family and I want to have a home, and I want to have stability, I've got to have a career that has financial abundance. But I said, hey, if I could start with happiness, man, maybe I'll figure something out. Honestly, I was thinking, I don't know what I was thinking, but I was like, let's just be happy first. And then I found other things down the line. That's why when I found Herbalife, I was like, it's like everything in one. I can have my health, I can have my fitness, I can have my wellness, and I can have my financial abundance, and I can have my time freedom. So that's really why I got excited. Number two, be the best you can be, because then even if you do fail, you don't have to have any regrets. And sometimes you're going to fail, because in the failure, you're going to have some lessons learned that only the failure could teach you. And the failure then isn't a failure. The failure is a learning opportunity, a stepping stone to success, which comes later. So that was definitely great. You never want to fail and then think, hey, could I have done better? Could I have worked harder? Could I have tried more? You want to be able to say, hey, I gave it my all and it didn't work out. No problem. Something else is meant to be here. Spiritual genetics. He said you can't choose your eyes. You can't choose your nose. You can't choose your name, but you can choose your spiritual genetics. Chris Gardner said he got it from his mom. Imagine 12 kids and the husband leaves. 12 kids. And she has to raise them all by herself. And I don't know about you, but one kid is tough. I've had little brothers. I've been a kid. I'm sure you've been a kid. I know you've been a kid at one time. But if you've ever seen the growing up of children, it takes so much. And imagine 12. And she did that. And he said, you know what? I took so much from her willingness to contribute to her family, her work ethic, her belief, her faith. Those are things you get to choose. Those are things you get to build, your spiritual genetics. And then last, number 3, remember your roots. He said, give back, contribute. I think that's such a need for the higher levels of the spirit. You can't give back to the poor if you're one of them. You can't give back to the unhealthy if you're one of them. You can't give back to the unhappy if you're one of them. You got to change, elevate, evolve, grow so that you can give back to others. You know, go back to your community and give back. Give back to those less fortunate. Help pull them up as much as you can, because that's a part of growing. You grow so that you can give. So remember your roots. Give back to your friends, family, community. Epic stuff today. 3 success rules. Very basic. Basics are the fundamentals. The fundamentals are everything. So with that, we're going to let you guys get to your Monday. A little shorter of a day today on Triple M, because then you get to get to it and get to this growth. I'm going to post a video to YouTube. Tag your friends. Repost the link. Tell your friends every single Monday morning. You know we're starting strong. So excited for a new week. We're closing out the first quarter of the year. It's almost the end of the first 90 days of 2016. Hope everything is going great as we go into the second quarter. And I know you guys are going to have a great Monday. Have an awesome one, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace!